When I was a kid, I had this naive belief that as the world progressed, people became more and more free. I think a lot of this had to do with the fact that the media at the time pandered to the conservative parents and the right-wing action groups they tend to join and support. And they loved covering stories about the rise of corrupting influences on the children, the poor children, so impressionable and young and stupid. And as a young, impressionable, stupid, amazing atheist, I constantly heard about how good and pure and innocent the world used to be. And every time I heard it, I was extremely grateful that I didn't live in the past. A world devoid of lasciviousness, a world without depravity or moral ambiguity, sounds like a boring fucking place, if you ask me. And you just did. I always assumed that when I grew up, the world would be even cooler. There would be like massive orgies in the streets, or at least on TV. I was looking forward to this depraved new world with all of my little black heart. Alas, that world never came. Instead, we've turned into Planet Wuss. I was reading The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn on my iPhone last night, and I've always liked Mark Twain, but strangely, I'd never until yesterday read his most famous work. I'd read Letters from Earth, I'd read The Mysterious Stranger, but somehow I never found the time to read about Huck Finn's adventures on the Mississippi River. The thing that struck me about it was not the use of racially charged language like the word nigger. The book is actually anti-racist in tone. What surprised my modern sensibilities is that in chapter 2 of the book, Huck and his friends are sitting around in a cave where they hide out, and they're talking about becoming robbers. And they're just going on and on about how they're going to kill people, how they're going to hold people for ransom, and they're just going to steal stuff, and they're going to kidnap women and bring them back to the cave and seduce them. And it was a pleasant shock to my modern sensibilities. But it was also the dawning of a sad epiphany. Society doesn't trend towards greater and greater freedom as the young me once believed. It trends towards greater and greater whininess. I mean, like, if Harry Potter and Ron Weasley talked about kidnapping Hermione and keeping her in a cave until she fell in love with them, then J.K. Rowling's books wouldn't even have been published, let alone become a cultural phenomenon. Why? Because parents would think to themselves, this teaches bad lessons. This is immoral. What if my children read this and they think it's okay? Planet Wuss, ladies and gentlemen, where you root for the villains because the heroes have become so sanitized that they're not even fucking human beings anymore. When I was a teenager, I had Marilyn Manson to look up to. He was cutting himself on stage and demanding the crowd spit in his open wounds. He was burning and wiping his ass with the American flag. He was tearing up the Bible. He was screaming on national television that we would no longer be oppressed by the fascism of Christianity. What does this new generation of teens have? Do the 12 to 17-year-olds watching this video even realize that they're the first generation since the birth of pop culture to lack an iconoclast, a provocateur, a person who pisses off conservative parents across America? The 50s had Elvis and his gyrating hips. The 60s, well, the 60s had the 60s. 70s, they had Kiss, and they seem ridiculous now, but at the time, people thought Kiss was like knights in Satan's service. We have to stop them. I mean, the 80s had Ozzy and Iron Maiden and Twisted Sister and all those acts. The 90s had Marilyn Manson and Nine Inch Nails and Eminem. What do you guys have? Lady Gaga? I mean, she's okay, I guess. But if she's this generation's answer to a tradition that includes performers like Jim Morrison and Dee Snider, then she falls pitifully and pitiably short of the mark. Planet Wuss, ladies and gentlemen, where the closest thing you've got to a shock rocker is a chick whose most provocative act is that she kind of dresses funny. It's like, if you look at a girl's ass now, you're a chauvinist pig who's a tool of the patriarchy. You objectify women. If you call someone an idiot now, you're a bully. And if they kill themselves, it's your fault, because you should have been nicer to them. If you make a comment about someone else's race, even if it's essentially harmless, you're racist scum! You might as well join the KKK. If you use the word gay to mean bad, you're a homophobe. Planet Wuss, ladies and gentlemen, where you better watch what you say, because hurting other people's feelings is a crime now. Well, I hate to break it to you, America, but I have some confessions to make. I look at girls' asses because their asses look good. I call people idiots because oftentimes people are idiots. I might reference the fact that Asian people have slanty eyes because they do. I might say that's gay when I don't like something because that's the evolution of language. Just like I say God damn it, even though I don't believe in God. I can use gay as being interchangeable with bad without thinking that gay people are bad. It's easy. I want you to do this with me, Planet Wuss. I want you to take a deep breath. Stop looking at our iPhones for a second and just take a look at the world we're living in. It sucks, doesn't it? It's boring, it's bland, it's fucking sterile. We could be having orgies, ladies and gentlemen, right on the streets. Right now! Instead, we're watching Glee and listening to Katy Perry. Can we please stop being pussies now? We tried it for the last decade, and honestly, it's not working for us. Let's do something else. Let's break something. Let's fuck something. Let's live a little. I'm the Amazing Atheist. Peace the fuck out. If you guys like my videos, I'd humbly ask that you subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Also, join my fan page on Facebook and follow me on Twitter. I feel like a douche asking for this sort of thing, but it actually does help me out a lot when I'm followed on social media sites, so thanks in advance. Sell out!